Are you ready for an attitude adjustment? Are you ready for an upgrade to your mindset? Hi there, my name is Leslie Mosteller, and I'm an entrepreneur and a business coach. I have 5 hot tips for you today to help you upgrade your attitude. Hot tip number 1, beware of your brain. All of our brains are actually hardwired for fight or flight. I know you've heard this before, but let's dive into this. What this means is we are all very risk adverse. Change is uncomfortable. New ideas and adversity, anything that presses on us, makes us uncomfortable. We want to just get away from all that. So with an increased awareness of this, you can respond more wisely and look at change, look at opportunity, look at adverse conditions, and unless there's a tiger changing you, perhaps you don't need to either fight or flight. Hot tip number 2. Create a book of evidence. Now, what I mean by this is you and I and everyone has survived a lot, accomplished a lot. By virtue of being alive, we've been through a lot of stuff, good and bad, and we figured a lot out. I invite you to literally write this down. Write the story. Big things, little things. What was that really unexpected hard thing that you found yourself in the middle of and you actually survived it? And how did you do that? And were you different afterwards? Once you go through this exercise and create this book of evidence, you will have an appreciation right off the bat for how awesome you are, actually. And going forward, when you get yourself in a tight situation, you don't know what to do, you're feeling very overwhelmed, you've got this book of evidence to refer back to that while you may not have the solution right that minute, you know you will because you've done it before. Hot tip number 3, your emotions are a personal choice. All of us find ourselves saying things like, I'm frustrated, I'm confused, I'm angry. And what you need to understand and modify is those are actually personal choices. While something frustrating can happen around you, even to you, you may be misunderstood and stuck right now. Actually being frustrated is a personal choice. You can be in a tight spot, in a scary situation, and you can, instead of putting a period there, I invite you to put a comma there and think, okay, and now what? And there's a sense of moving forward and out of that state and changing your state to one of optimism, something else, your choice. Your emotions are a personal choice, and you don't need to be on that emotional roller coaster any longer. Hot tip number 4. If you say so is always true. What each of us choose to believe ends up driving our actions, and our actions, of course, drive our result, and then our result simply reinforces what we already believed. If you tweak your beliefs first, then you're going to put forward a different action and you're going to get a different result. So if you say so ends up being true every time, whether you say I can do it or you say I can't do it. I invite you to write your eulogy now. This is the description of your life, what you did, who you were, how you impacted the world, that either a loved friend or family member reads at your funeral, or this is what's posted in the newspaper, or both. Writing this now becomes an intentional exercise. It's not something that's meant to be morbid. It contributes to this if you say so idea. So how do you want to be remembered? What do you want to do? How do you want to affect the people around you? Think this through and write this down, and then if you say so, your next step is going to be to make it happen. Hot tip number 5, and this one is actually my most favorite of all hot tips. Hot tip number 5 is to consider looking at your life as a quest. Now, a quest is more than a journey. A quest is not only going from A to B, but a quest is the change, the set of changes that happen to you along the way. Back in the day, when we weren't so comfort-oriented, young men would go off purposefully on a quest, and they would challenge themselves to test their mettle and to learn and to find out what they can be and who they are and what they're made of, and to make themselves ready for adulthood. Now, these days, we all tend to see difficulty as a sign that we're doing something wrong, or we get into a tight situation and things are challenging and we back off. I invite you to embrace adversity and see it as an opportunity to grow. I invite you to see challenges as a chance to seek solutions. And as you move forward on your quest, your life becomes one of excitement and learning and growing and adventure. And I invite you to behave as though this life is not a dress rehearsal. I hope you enjoyed these 5 hot tips, and I wish you to live joyfully. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.